Oops. Okay. Unfortunately, guys, it would not let me go live unless I went vertical. And I'm struggling, so I'm sorry for the people with motion sickness. You're not going to be able to see much tonight. Okay. All right. Whew. Yeah, this YouTube thing. I don't think YouTube likes me. Let me put the chat. Okay. Pull up the chat and it didn't give me any chats. It's making me go through the whole process again. Okay. All right, so yeah, at a different angle. I can't tilt you down anymore. I can't, because my stand, I have an iPad Pro and it's standing vertical instead of horizontal. And if I tilt it down anymore, it's going to fall off the stand. I have nothing else to prop it up with, and also have the mic receiver plugged in. So I'm sorry about the orientation. I have been having issues with this YouTube thing. It's like they do updates, they don't tell us, and then it has the button for me to go horizontal, and when I press it, it won't work. So let's see. That took it out. Yeah, it just will not let me come on here, and it doesn't give me the option. When I press go live, it would give, before I press go live, like I pull up my live that I got scheduled, it would tell me, it would give me options to rotate it, which way I want to rotate it. It's disappeared. It only tells me that I need to rotate my screen once I hit go live. So I don't know what's going on with that. And I think it's punishment for people that are not using a streaming service instead of just using mobile devices. It's totally different. So I don't know how to stream. And so we're in this dilemma right now. So very awkward angle. Also, everything's turned backwards. It was already enough everything was turned backwards. Now you all don't even have space to really see what I'm doing. So if you were complaining before about can't see, I feel really bad for those that are viewing tonight. And I'm sorry about it, but there's nothing that I can do if YouTube will not even let me start the live unless I submit to what they're doing. So Darcy is here saying hi, Tea and Quilters. Give Tea her thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also check her Facebook page, Teaquilts LLC. Make sure you answer the 4 questions so that you are able to get into that group. I'm trying to keep scammers and spammers out. And also, I'm live on Wednesdays for 1 hour, 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I'm also live on Saturdays for 2 hours live sew and chat, where I'm here from 8 to 10 p.m. I'm getting notifications I forgot to turn off, y'all. 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I normally sew then, but I am sewing now because I got so many things I got to do. so much stuff is going on. So I'll go ahead and just read some names. I'm not going to read anything else. Donette Branson, Zandra Odom, Deborah Sims Brown, Brenda Foley, Melinda C. And also want to go back to Sue GSD, who's saying it's 132 days until Retreat 2026. I have been to several retreats over the years. Since my first Teaquilts retreat, I felt welcome and part of the family. And I want to say about Retreat, I have called a retreat center because I hadn't heard anything from them, and they normally contact me 6 months out, and I'm like, did they cancel our reservation? They do have us scheduled. I did find out they had a couple more extra rooms that was released from another group. So if I will send out a notice with the room schedule, and if you are in a double, contact your own, contact your person you're in the double with, and see if you're both wanting to have your single room. So I do have a couple more options for people that want a single room. So that's available as well. That also would mean that you got to pay the single rate. So you would have to update your payment. So it's not free. She just letting me know that they have some additional rooms. And I was very limited on single rooms when we first scheduled. So that's why I am letting you all know. So I'll get the room schedule fixed and see who's where. And then you all can let me know if you don't want to do that. You know, if you both want to pay the single rate, that'll be great. Claudette Hall's here. Deborah, Suzette Peterkin Denton, Paula S., Deborah Quilts, See Joy Creations, Jester Creative Space, Judy Smith, Kevin, Minnie Dula, Gloria Hawkins, Linda Parrish, Bonita Nance. Trying to get everybody in. Photo Kevin, which is Kevin the Quilter. Clovis Gardner. And I'm used to looking down, not up. So it's going to be a lot. Michelle the Quilter is here. So yeah. All right. So what have I been working on since Saturday, I guess? Sunday I took off. I just decided, you know what? It's so funny when you have your own business. People think you're supposed to work 24/7, but when people go to work, they only want to go to work for their 8 hours and then they want to be off. So they don't work the weekend, or if they do work the weekend, they got 2 other days off. So I decided Sunday I wasn't doing anything, and that's what I did. I propped up, relaxed. I have a lot of stuff coming up in the month of March. I got a lecture coming up. I got to pull quilts for that. I also have with Paulette Sankofa, she is having an event, and I'm teaching the H block. And I mentioned this to you all before because I thought I was going to come on here tonight sewing the H block, but I'm not. I've already done it because I don't like waiting around till the last minute, because not only do I have to make a block, I had to write instructions for that block, and then I also had to cut for that block. And so we're providing all the kits as well. So this is my H block. This is I'm doing this. H is for John Lewis. I know H is for hospital, but I'm doing H is for John Lewis. And it was one of the quilts that he was an antique quilt collector. Hold on, y'all. He was an antique quilt collector. I got all my pieces here I'm trying to keep a hold of. And there's a picture of him in bed up under a H quilt that's exactly like this. And what I do like about it is that if you do alternate light and dark corners, I don't think they did it that way, but if you do alternate light and dark backgrounds, then when you put these together, you'll have little 4 patches that form. So I've made an H quilt. I don't think I even have the binding on that H quilt, but I will take that and I'm going to make it a progressive block. Like they can just do the basic H, which is these first 3 columns. Or they can add 2 more columns and get what I'm calling the fancy H. Or you can go ahead and add the frame and then do the actual John Lewis quilt block. So, yeah. So it's going to be progressive. So I had to think about, like, some people might know how to sew, some may not. They may get frustrated, may not like these snowball corners, things like that. So it's an easy block. I didn't want to do just the basic H because I wanted to do what was represented in the quilt. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I have written a pattern. I just got to proof it because I don't know if I have any typos, especially when you're dealing with numbers. You don't want to have typos. Also, hit the thumbs up button for me, guys. I see I got 27 thumbs up. 55 people are in here. Hit the thumbs up. Let me hit it. Well, I don't want to hit it right now. I hit it later. Because if I hit it right now, it's going to take me out. And then I may not get my chat back. But hit the thumbs up button for me. I would really, really appreciate it. So I worked on that. I also have quilted 2 quilts. I've got to do some hand sewing on one. I had a customer's quilt for some reason. Well, I know why. It was both of our faults, for real. Normally, when you send quilts to a long armer, you send 8 extra inches, meaning you've got 4 extra inches on each side. That way, they've got room to load your quilt. And then what you all that don't know anything about long arm quilting, or some of you all that don't know anything about long arm quilting, is that we also use side tension. And so I had about, I think I measured it, it was like 12 extra inches on each side. And normally I trim the backings down. It's always an extra step. I had so much going on, I decided I wasn't going to trim, send the 8 inches, is in my head. And I put the backing on there anyway, not thinking. Well, rushing really. And the first row, I check everything and everything looked perfect on the first row. And then I just started quilting, wasn't really paying any attention, and did maybe 5 rows and realized that there was a pleat in the back. At first, when I first saw it, I ignored it because I'm saying, oh, that's her seam. She seamed her back. That's her seam for, the back. No, it was a pleat that I didn't even know until I had gotten so far down, and then the pleat became a little bit more pronounced. And so then I took it off my frame, and then I figured out, I pinned it really good so that it wouldn't move. And then I did the next row, and then something says, girl, you better send this to your customer, let her know that this has happened. So this happened last month or the month before. I can't remember. It was either January, it was this year, January, because it could have been toward the end of the month because we had bad weather, so I couldn't get out and get her stuff to her. And so we didn't have scrap club meetings, so I couldn't let her see it either. So she saw it at scrap club this past weekend and said that it was okay. And so what I'm going to do, what I did, I'm not what I'm going to do, but I got to finish one part. But what I'm going to do is, well, what I did was I finished quilting it because I did get all the puckers out. Also, I did go and trim in and take off the extra fabric, and so that all I had was 4 inches, and then it stitched up just fine without any extra pins. So at least I know what the problem is and don't do it again. And then the other thing that needs to be done is where it has the pleat on the back. It just needs to be hand sewed like you do binding. So, yeah. I guess I have that job to do. That's what I got to do. And then I also quilted another customer's quilt that I got to go through and de-thread. Sometimes when you have jump threads on a long arm, you can't get the back thread. So you have to turn the quilt over and do some of that. So yeah. And then I told you all that I think I had finished the little string quilt that I was working on. I was got it on my long arm now. I was doing some test quilting. I'm not really happy with the quilting. I have an issue with some geometric patterns not stitching correctly, and it's like no matter what I do, it just does not work. And when I say geometrics, I'm talking about not necessarily like not herringbones, but like what is that shape? Like octagons, where it's supposed to go up and go down and then come back the other way, and it's supposed to touch at the tips. I have the where they're supposed to touch at the tips. They're moving left and right, and it can move left and right within the same row. It just never quilts right for me. So this is like my third time trying to do a geometric design, and I've decided that I'm never doing them again. And I've done like at least 3 times. I've used at least 3 different geometric designs like that, and they just do not work for me. The things that work for me are clams. They work. The S, and then the zigzag, but I couldn't even find my zigzag pattern to even test it out. But yeah, so yeah, things happen to people that sew all the time, and I sometimes will do tests of things because I don't want that to happen on a customer's quilt. That's why I always test them on my quilts. But just know every time that things don't work out as you planned all the time, okay? Let's see who else has come in before I start sewing. I think I have mentioned everything. I'm working on, I still need to edit the video. I had recorded it, but I don't think I finished it, and I'm hoping that, I'm just hoping that I got it all videotaped, okay? So that I can edit. So that's a whole nother thing. It's so much going on this month. March is a bad time. Hi, Miss Wanda. Welcome. I'm glad you inside the live chat this time instead of in the outside of the chat. Sometimes people get confused on which one they're supposed to be at. So I'm glad you're in the right space. Elwin McGaw, welcome to the chat. I think that's my first time saying your name, or it's been a long time and I forgot. Sue is saying, T, after the rain goes away, we need to get together so I can give you that one thing probably next week. Okay, we'll do that, and then I can test it out. Hi, Leetta Bryant. Welcome to the chat. Trying to make sure I got everybody. Sheila Willis. Minnie says she made an H quilt in a class, and it was called the Happy Quilt. So that's cool, too. You know, H can be for whatever you want it to be. Phyllis is here. Phyllis G said her rent is paid. Have you hit the thumbs up button? Let's see. I got 34 now, but I got 70 people. Hit the thumbs up button for me, please. I would really, 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 really appreciate it. And if you don't want me to start singing, hit the thumbs up button. I've told you, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. Hey, Vivian Calvi. At least I can make myself laugh, right? That would be scary. Me singing, that is. So that's why I brought this in here. I got the printout at my computer. I never have gone over there and gotten it. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what else have I done? It seems like I've done something else, but you know, it's a lot. I'm doing stuff for a retreat a little bit, and so some things I can share and some things I can't share. So that might be what part of the issue is. I'm thinking that I got something else to tell you, and I really don't. Let's put some water in here. It's almost empty, but it's too much to fill it up. I mean, you know, to take out this last little water with overflow. But we got that heating up. Let me talk about retreat last year where we did the Red River quilt pattern. That was a Villa Rosa design. I still have some if people are interested. Where you take a panel and then we put like this chevron shaped border on the outside. And when you did the chevron border, you did a lot of snowball corners. And we had all of these pieces left over. And I not only made this same quilt for me, I also made it for my sister. My sister's quilt is already done, and I never quilted mine because I knew I wanted to piece all of these leftover pieces. So I have no loose pieces right now. So you, from snowballing, you have all of these half square triangle thingies that I'm showing you right there. Those are left over in like 3 different sizes that we made them in. And so I squared them up to, these are 4, I squared to 4.5 for 4-inch finish. And so then I made these flying geese. And then at the time I had lost the other block of this. And so I went ahead and made what's looking like a tree, but it's a different color tree, but it's a tree. And so what I've done is I put all of these, I've sewn all of these units together, and I'm making a quilt back. Oh, I'm like, where is it? Okay, I got it pinned. That's why it's not up there. This is just a piece of it with the larger half square triangle. So we had some this big. We had some this big, which is 8-inch finish, so they were squared up to 8.5. And it's like, and this is from 2 quilts, so don't think it's all just one quilt. But even if you look at half of what I'm showing you, this was a lot of wasted fabric, and I just couldn't go for it. So I squared everything up as I was making the quilt blocks. I didn't even have to square anything up to start working on this. So I just basically start sewing this stuff into you know, groupings. So this is going to go in here like that. And that's one grouping. And I'm working on, it's going with this to go on the side. But I can't even show you this one because I've got stuff pinned to it. Yeah. So this is where it's pinned right here at the top. So I know you're seeing even less now that we are in this vertical position. And then this is my bottom piece. So the brown is what I've been adding in to make pieces fit. And all of the half square triangles all came out of doing the snowball corners of things that would normally be put into the trash. But we can't throw stuff away around here like that. So I'm going to sew these pieces onto here, and I'm going to sew them 2 pieces together, and then hopefully we'll get all of this put together. Thank you, Jester. And then I just went to my wall because I didn't want to like go buy anything, because I'm definitely not using any more of my speckled fabric on the back of a quilt. And so I just went to my wall of fabric and picked something that I could put on the back that I wouldn't stay up thinking about me cutting it and putting on the back. I'm real weird about quilt backs, y'all. Most people don't look at quilt backs. I see them because I'm cuddling under them, but that's not the most interesting part for me. I know where the interesting part is, so I don't really put a lot of my good fabric. Now, this is a good fabric. It was just one that I could, you know, let go, okay? And so, and I had to make sure, because I could have put anything on here. I could have used extra quilt backings that I had pieces from, but they wouldn't have been in the same color. And I didn't really want to go out of my color theme. But I didn't want to go and put any more of my speckle fabric on here either. Okay, trying to make sure I didn't see my thread tail. I had to change my foot and my needle plate because I had to sew some batting together. I was sewing scrap batting. Oh, I didn't change my foot. Okay. Okay. Search. I put it on here, but then didn't tell the computer I put it on here. And I gotta tell it I got this plate. All right, now we'll sew with no issues, correct? Bernie. Okay. I took it off. It didn't work. It didn't take my foot, even though I put it on here. Search. It's up there now. Sometimes, you know, you might hit the screen and don't know you hit the screen. And this Bernina, which is nice, though it won't let you, you know, tear your machine up. But it ain't gonna let you do nothing if you don't have the right combination up here. If you got a foot that's a wide foot and you got the cut plate on, it ain't It's like, no. Even though the center position is still in the center, it's like, no ma'am. You cannot do that here. All right. So, I hate to cut my thread. I do have pieces these little pieces. I got some of them. I've been dropping these things. They fell on the floor. They was on my machine and fell all the way off. The vibration, they all on the floor. I picked up a few. So I'll be dipping down there to get more as needed. I only got 2 up here. So you want to put pieces on the sides so that this will fit with the 2 rows of the, what I'm calling now the goose block. So I'm just sewing pieces on each side because this block is 16 inches finished, so I had to add onto here to make it 16 finish. That's the easiest way for me to do this. If I know the size of something else, then I just make it all fit that way. I don't have to do math unless I'm putting something in the middle to make it long enough. If I keep the block math, it makes life a lot easier. Hi, Thomasina. Welcome to the chat. And Delia Short, welcome to the chat. Okay. Toss that over there and get another one, I guess. And these are snowball corners from another project that I'm chain piecing with. Just to So it's always something that I can do, and that's why I have to make myself sit down and do nothing, because my back will be hurting and everything else. All right. So now I have put this on here. Let's see. I'm not even sure what this was in my sister's quilt, but I'm not even sure why I had rectangles in here, but I did, so I used them. I just happened to look and say, I'm like, where did you come from? Must have been a scrap from when I was cutting her rectangles and squares to make the quilt, and they were just laying here, and I'm like, okay, we'll use that too. So I got the other fabric. I can't remember which fabric I didn't use in my sister's quilt, and I used the light blue, and then I'm using this other blue in mine. And it must not have been a half square triangle. I don't know, because I don't see it. I don't think I see it. It could be in the quilt and I'm just not seeing it. Right. Yeah, it's in the quilt. Yeah, because I'm like, it did make half square triangles, but I don't know why I had a piece of rectangle in here big enough to cut those two pieces to make it fit. So that's what I did. Nice thing about being left-handed, I can put pins back further if when it's not a critical match point. All right. Okay, I gotta go diving for fabric pieces. Here's one up there. They are everywhere. They're never gonna disappear. All right. It's like every time stuff happens, I'm right before I'm about to go live, all the stuff happens. And I have like 10 minutes. I come in here, try to do 10 minutes. Soon as I get up, the dog comes and letting me know she wants to go outside. Does she go outside and come right back in? No, she takes her little lackadaisy time. I didn't even get a drink today to come in here with, because I just didn't have time. I already knew YouTube was going to be a problem. I said, you better get in there. I tried numerous things before I came live, but none of it worked. So one of these days, I just don't have time to learn streaming. I just don't have time for it. And it's complicated to me. It's more involved. And I don't know. I've never tried streaming on my iPad. I don't know if I even can. All right, so then we just put this on here. Now this should be 16 inches wide to go on that other piece I had somewhere. Like, what did I do with it? It's so weird to me how, it's the big, it's the big pieces with the goose block. I'll sew this and then I'll stand up. I got pieces of the fabric, my scraps, laying right here. I don't see it under me. So it's gotta be, it must have fallen. Did it fall back there? All right, or did it fall over this way? Y'all let me know. Hi, Deborah Holloway. Just trying to make sure nothing's on here, because I don't want to stitch it. If it's attached to here, I don't want to stitch it together, But I'm looking for the big old goose block. Like, how I'm missing the biggest unit? That's like 16 by 32. That'll make a pretty quilt that big, with the flying geese that big. I have a string quilt that I made, flying geese, really big. I never quilted it. I need to quilt some stuff, I guess. Now I got a whole bag of quilts that's been quilted but don't have like at least 4 or 5, maybe even more. But I haven't done the binding or the finishing label. Well, they're not finished, so I no need of making a label because I don't know what day I'm going to finish it. I got some quilts that's been quilted for years that don't have binding and a label. It's kind of ridiculous. But I don't get a chance to work on my stuff too often. Hi, Claudette Bettis. I'm assuming she's in here. I didn't see her name. Bonita saying hi. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Ray. Welcome to the chat. All right. Alrighty. Still working. All right. I don't need to back stitch because it's going to be something else around this. So I have to find the right side because this white, I told y'all, this white, you can't, either side will work, but one just has a little bit more texture, but when you're far away, you can't tell one from the other. But I would like it to be right side up, given the opportunity. If I mis-sew it, that's a whole nother issue. Okay. I got my basket here, my stuff's falling out of. Okay. I'm like, let me see if it fell that way. Nope. It's like, oh, I see it. No, that's this part. Got this part. I'm gonna sit it up here. It did fall off. It was going all up under my ironing station right here. So this is the piece I'm looking for to sew those two pieces together. But first, I've got to press this seam in this small space. Oh, it may not be long enough. I didn't check the length, I don't think. But we'll sew those two pieces together and we'll see what we have. I don't think I checked it for length yet. I don't recall doing that measurement, but we shall see. You never know. So, I have a feeling that, you know, when you start making stuff like this, then you don't want to use it as a back, but I am. I'm going to use it as a back. I've done too much work now to not use it as a back. But, so I've been really, I just had all the blocks made, so I have been sewing on this since Monday, because I took Sunday off, and I have been working on other projects. So I got some fabric pull that I want to do some quilting. I also have a piece of fabric that's quilted with batting, but I want fabric quilted with foam. But I'm thinking maybe I might need to just do it with the fabric with the batting, and then it won't be as stiff, but it'll be okay. All right, so that's this unit all sewed together. So that's what we're looking like. Got this big old star. I really like that one. And then I've got 3 pinwheels down here at the bottom I really like. So let's sew these other 2 pieces together, and then I don't have my extra fabric in here other than scraps that I like cut. I'll cut pieces certain widths, and then I use them because I kind of know what my block units are. And so then I'll use that until it's gone. So that's what I got in here. I don't have any more yardage. And I probably only have like a yard more of this fabric left. So I have to see what size it is. This quilt isn't super big, but it's like a lap quilt maybe. It's not, I don't think it's twin size. I think it's more like a lap size. So I want to get this off so it's out of the way, so I can just go straight to pressing. All right, and sew another one of these together. Hi, Shelly. Welcome to the chat. Hey, Sharon. Sharon, did you email me, or was that somebody else that emailed me? Oh, and may as well, while I'm even thinking about that, because I sent out updated affiliate links. For some reason, ShareASale, which is the company that hosts all of your affiliate links, they sold to another company. And I guess I wasn't big enough or something, but I had issues getting into my account and I never could get in. And they didn't take the old links that we had. People were clicking on my links, but I wasn't getting paid. So if you are using any of my old links, have them saved somewhere. I have my new affiliate links in this description of this video on YouTube. They'll be in all future uploads. And then also, like, if you're buying stuff at AccuQuilt, Fat Quarter Shop, Electric Quilt Company, Superior Threads, I think, is this not Superior, Sulky, I can't remember which one. It's one of them. One of those companies I'm blocking. But I've got like about 5 or 6 affiliate links listed into the video. So if you just enter those sites prior to go to my YouTube link, or you can go to Facebook, click those links. You can save those links to your own document that you can use somewhere else. That's how I do them when I'm doing links. So it would be very, very much appreciated. It's just a way to help sponsor the channel, since I really don't make money off of YouTube. This might fit. I might have done the math because I got a 3-inch strip here. But yeah, so this is going on the sides of what I just showed you all. So yeah, really cute. Let's see if it fits. See if I did the math, because I can't remember where I left off. Other than I sewed a piece together wrong and didn't even know it until I came back in here today. So I took it apart, and that's what I had pinned. I had it sewed on, but had it sewed to the wrong side. So 2 of my sides were the same, and I'm like, I need to take that apart because it's not going to work when it turned the corner, because the width wasn't the same. The width and length wasn't the same. Just one way was. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. I want the black pointing down. And then we're done with this, except that I need to see what this measures and then make it so that I have 4 extra inches all the way around. And I'm hoping that my whatever fabric I got left will work. Yep, it fits. So I did. That piece I put in the middle was cut to size. I thought I just put a spacer in there. Look at me. She had to stop at the grocery store. I need to go to the grocery store. It's a couple things I need. I've been prolonging for like probably a couple weeks now. My husband went to the store and got some stuff, so that helped. So I didn't have to go as quickly. So yeah. So that was the other thing I was working on, and that takes time because I still had to futz around in this program trying to figure out why they were sending me emails about the companies I was enlisted with, and I'm like, okay, so that means I am still in the system, but I never got any payments. And when I went in, I never saw my companies. What did they want me to verify? They wanted me to verify, like, not anything important like tax wise. It was something like verify your address or something like that, which the other company had. And once I did that, it just opened up the whole account and went through. But nowhere did it tell me that before. And maybe they were new or new getting share sales stuff and they didn't have it all hooked up right. But I had the most difficult time, and it's been a long time since this happened. So, and I just like, you know what, I don't have time to deal with this right now. So I'm making time at my busiest time, but I made time. All right. This is the last seam that I have to sew on this until I measure it and see what size I have to see what size I need. I'm not going to be that far off on the width. I probably am only like 4 inches short, like, of what my quilt top is on the width. So I'll need like to add 12 inches to it. So this is going to be really, really cool. I'll have all the extra leftovers in the same quilt. And I'll show you my quilt top too when I finish with this, because some of you all have forgotten. I made 2 almost exactly alike, except that like I said, I used the light. I used this light blue in my sister's quilt, and I used this blue, the darker blue, which you can't see right there. I used this blue in my quilt, and I think that was the change. And then her favorite color is pink. So on the back of her quilt, she has a pink chevron, a pink fabric with white chevrons. And then I was going to do mine with chevron on the back too, because the quilting is chevrons as well. But I decided to use this stuff because I didn't know what else I was going to do with it. So I decided to use it. I didn't want to make it another quilt. I got enough quilts that I didn't want to make it another quilt. And I didn't want to wanted to hang around for years and years and years. It's already hung around 8 months, you know. Use it up. And it's just, you know, anything that's sitting out, I'm trying to use. What's not put up, I'm trying to use. All right. I'm going to cut that because I think we're done sewing. But we just need to press this seam in this small space. And like I said, I'll look and see if I wrote down because I've had so many numbers. See if I can add some numbers up and tell you what size it is. But you won't be able to see this whole thing for sure. All right, just want to set it and then come back and flip it over. Okay. Get that little corner that's off the press mat. Oh my goodness. YouTube is starting to really get on my nerves. They're stressing me out. Oh, I really wanted to put a spacer in between and I forgot, but I'm not taking this apart just to put a spacer. That's a long seam. Because I got patterns running from one thing to the next and I had separated everything, so none of the patterns. That's why I had spacers everywhere instead of just sewing it together. But, oh well. It's just one little part where they're running together. I am not taking out a back seam. That doesn't matter. I forgot that part. And I didn't have it cut anyway. So right here, see how this is running into that? I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to put like a 1-inch spacer in there, but I didn't, and it's okay. It's gonna go. So yeah, let me see it. I was trying to see if I had any paper that I had written on. Written any numbers on in here. Sometimes I move stuff to the cutting area because I don't really cut in here. So let's see. It's just one piece of fabric, but it's not what I'm looking for. Let's see if anything else is over here. This also fell. This piece of paper fell. But it doesn't have numbers on it. It fell when my paper fell. So no, I don't have any numbers in here, unfortunately. But it's not much smaller than the quilt itself. So now I can recycle this for something else. Let's see. I can recycle my project bag. Got it cleared out now. And I want to quilt this because I think I might want to hang it in my booth at Quilt Stitch Net. If you don't know, I'm vending there too. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that I'm busy with. Not everything I can show on here. I'm just doing more administrative stuff. And then trying to come in here and sew a little bit. Well, number one, I need to get some things sewed. And number two, it's my relaxation from all the other stress. So, okay, just trying to make sure I had the top part because you're not going to be able to see it all anyway. So yeah, this is the panel. Let me show you the panel. So that's the panel. The panels that are digitally printed, you can see right through them. I'm just saying, I can see myself through this on the screen. Okay, I can see that you all can see that. But when I get to the other fabric, it's not quite so clear. But this is how the corner looks. And like I said, we had all of these snowballs. These are all snowball corners, y'all. And in the middle, it's like that. And so I just wanted to use all of that stuff up. So I'm going to figure out what this measurement is. Let me tell you about the panel, why it's a lion in the middle. For those that don't know, I know a lot of y'all know, but it's about 5 of y'all that don't know. Both my sister and I are Leos. My birthday is July 28th. Hers is August 11th. And if she don't like anything else, she loves a lion. Now, I love Leo too, but she goes above and beyond loving lions. But, you know, siblings, and especially Leos, the same sign, you ain't gonna have, I'm not gonna make you something that I don't have. So, so when I knew that I was gonna make that for her, last year was her 55th birthday. So when I was at retreat, I already knew that that quilt was going to her. And it also helped because I used in the class portion where we presented, I showed all the steps because it was set up a little different last year because we were in 2 different rooms. But I showed all the different steps for how to do it on my quilt, and her quilt was already done as the display. So they were very similar, except that I had a light blue and a dark blue. And but she wasn't gonna have a Leo quilt, and I didn't have a Leo quilt, but she got hers first. That was okay. I knew she would get hers first, and she got it on her birthday. She loves that quilt. She keeps it out on her sofa, and the pink it's no pink in there other than in the tongue of the lion, but she loves that it's got her favorite color on the back, and so she uses both sides of it. And she has no pink. She has no color in her house. She's the black, white, gold, and silver house, but she got that quilt out. Okay. So sometimes you got to figure out what people like so you can mess up their home decor. That's why I'm not making Jersey or my daughter any more quilts. My daughter collect quilts, but you don't see them out. Only time you see them quilts is when she's going on a road trip or something. You know, she got decor that she can't mess up, you know, and it's like all these quilts I've got, something should go with the decor, but no. So they don't use the quilt. So Jersey's like the arrow quilt that I made for Jersey. I'm not even worried about quilting that because I'm going to wait until she's decorating her own room, and then I'll give it to her because I've already given her Kevin pieced the quilt top. I finished it. We did a collab project. I did the quilting binding, and I pieced something on the back. I can't remember what I did. Very limited. But I gave that to my daughter. She's 3 years old. Do you know she's just now using that quilt? I gave my Motor Love quilt that had the K facets. We were supposed to have quilts that kind of match. And I gave it to her mom. And she had I knew she was moving, so I gave it to her. I was going to keep it and use it here at first. And I'm like, okay, she's moving. She's going to get her a toddler bed. It'll fit the toddler bed. Do you know that my daughter went and did a whole nother different theme on that room? She couldn't use black into it. She couldn't, you know, I had black with mostly orange and pink K facets, very bright, pretty quilt, because I'm like, use bright colors. She went pastel, and so then my quilt didn't make it into the you know, the home decor. Okay. So my daughter is pretty funny. Let me see. It says Wild Tea from Delilah. And then Deborah SB says, I like your backing. Thank you. Oh, wow, so awesome from Shelly. And then Zandra says that is beautiful. So thank you. Good night, C. Joy and Judy Smith and Delilah. They know I'm about to leave. Beautiful colors and backing. Thank you, Thomasina. But yeah, I am going to get off of here. We got like some seconds left now, but I am going to get off early because I'm quilting a quilt that just needs me to go in there and cut the thread so we can go down and stitch for 10 seconds. It's just how stuff splits up in the Butler system. So, and then I don't know if I'm going to work anymore tonight because I got to figure out if I want to work on, I'm going to go ahead and quilt some foam to some African fabric just so I can have it. I think I am going to do that, but I don't know if I'm going to cut it yet. I think I'm going to cut the one that I've had for years already quilted but didn't use it because it's got batting in it and then I switched over to foam, and now I don't want to use the one that has batting, but it's like, girl, you need to use this. You got your fabric invested. So yeah, that's what I said to myself. Yeah. Also, guys, on your way out, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for me. I would really appreciate it. I will see you all here Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to continue to work on Scattered Stars. I'm going to say it right this time. It's this project. Yes, I could have had it done had I done this instead of working on all the other stuff. But I want to make stuff that is for, you know, I can't come up with a sew and chat project every week. And so I just want to have a project that I'm working on only on the sew and chat. And then you all get to see it come together as well. So I can't remember how many blocks we did. I think we have 8 more blocks to do. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and then I got one over there is 12 because I put it on my design wall, so if I get lost I can just glance over there. So yes, we have 8 more blocks. We did 5 blocks the first time, and then we did 7 this time, so we have 8 more to piece, and then I can lay those out, and then we'll start piecing them into rows. So I'm making 20 blocks. You know, the pattern, you can do whatever, however many you want to do. Okay, so that's going to be it, guys. I will see you all on Saturday. You all stay blessed, be safe, everyone, and quilt out.